Brian Knows is brought to you by Meats of the Roundtable Podcast. Listen to your beefy bones, Jamie, John, and myself as we eat the meats and good eats all around Southern Maryland and beyond. Check us out on your favorite podcast platform as well as YouTube. That's at Meats of the Roundtable, spelled MEATS.
Let's start the show. It's Ryan Knows. So kick back, relax, and let him guide your soul. Around the windy roads of life to take you high and low. Trials and tribulations and acquaintance you should get to know. So maybe let him in to get a better sense and open up your heart and your mind to find a better friend who's experienced a lot in life and isn't perfect. As he looks for purpose, a deeper meaning as we dreaming in between the circus and beneath the surface.
Hi, I'm Brian, and I know Anthony.
That you do.
I didn't say you could talk yet. I mean, you're already breaking the rules. Welcome. No, it's okay. Normally, like on Meats of the Roundtable when we're recording, like I get after the guys, I'm like, you're not allowed to say anything until I introduce you. But this is different. This is different. But you would also know if you actually listened to that podcast.
Yeah, that's.
Anyway, welcome to Brian Knows, Anthony. I'm glad you're here. Welcome back, Gavin.
Hi.
Gavin's back as a guest host today because of what we're talking about and because it's Ant. He wanted to be a part of it, and I wanted him to be a part of it too. So I'm glad you're here. Now, before we get into what your nerdum is, what makes you special, what you geek out about, right? We're going to eat because I think it's important for us to break bread. Let me fix this. Break bread while we talk. So here we have here. This is I'm going to show you guys. This is Shannon made a Mississippi pot roast. So here, take a look. Let's see. There you go. All right. So Mississippi pot roast and some. This is Gavin's corn. I don't know, Mom.
Yeah,
Mom made it because you call it your sweet corn. This is normally something we have with Thanksgiving. So Gavin wanted that, and he actually asked for the roast. Just because I do a podcast doesn't mean I can talk right. And this time you've known me, you know that I don't.
Right.
So what we do in honor of meats, we always cheers our first bite. So you can pick what you want. It's easier if it's something solid and not the sweet corn. So I'm gonna grab some of the roast.
I'm
gonna get some roast with. I like the Food Network bites where it's like a little bit of each thing. So I'm gonna grab some. I got a potato, a carrot, potato, and some. Don't make fun of me. This is that's a messy one. I think I got everything. Some fell off. All right. So, you got a potato.
Oh, yeah,
good job, Ann. All right. Cheers. You got that thing. Cheers. All right.
All right.
And then wait before you eat. Eat right in that mic because these people like to hear it, so get all gross.
All weird like that.
This is Shannon's favorite part. Eating this, yeah. I think the cool thing about when you're hanging out with friends,
Right.
and you're eating, you're able to like break a wall down because like you feel comfortable. I think that would be good, like, before people, like, go into, like, these executive meetings, like, if the meeting started off with them eating or something, you know? Right. Especially with, like, contracts and stuff. Anyway, Anthony, I'm excited you're here. I'm really excited to know Gavin is to talk about what you're into, your nerdum, right? So, one of the things I think that makes you special, and the one time we see each other a year, is when we catch up.
Yeah, that one
because
special time.
The thing that you geek out about is horror.
Oh yeah.
Right. So like horror movies, horror collectibles, meeting these people,
Everything. The whole 9 yards.
So like we've known each other. I was trying to figure that out today.
Right.
When I met you is when Shannon and I started dating. So this was like 17 years ago.
Yeah.
You were tiny.
I was him.
Yeah. So like that was a while ago.
Oh yeah.
And no one could tell now that you're only 19. Right? But
exactly.
we've known each other for a long time, and as you've gotten older, I've seen your love for horror get more and more intense. And I have to say, like, when we meet at like family gatherings, there was not a lot of people geek out about this stuff. Like, so we go to Jen's, you know, for Halloween and stuff. We try to scare kids when they come for decorating, but I felt like I was kind of alone in that until you and Earl would start talking about the stuff, and I realized you guys were in the same place. And as Gavin's gotten older, he's like definitely gotten into
Horror.
yeah, like your love for horror. So now it's something we all share, and Gavin will be like, look at this, and he'll say like, this was on Ant's Instagram or whatever. So it's like,
That's awesome.
it's these different places you go to. So one thing that we love is the fact that you go to all these different horror cons, right? So like, do you have any idea like how many you guys hit up a year?
I mean, typically it's only about one a year. I mean, because they get pretty expensive, obviously, with buying all the autographs and stuff. But
Right, I'm gonna move you a little bit.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
all right. No, you're good.
But yeah, no, I mean, typically one a year. We want to try to maybe move it up to two, but I mean, at this point, we've met mostly everybody we can think that we want to meet of like our importance, we would say. But
Lucky.
I don't.
No, but that's the cool thing is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you go to
wow.
these, and I'm sure you're seeing the same actors and actresses.
Yeah,
that,
and that's
you know,
cool to see that, most definitely. I mean, we've seen a lot. I mean, Kane Hodder, we've met him probably, I think, 3 or 4 times now, and I mean,
We met him once.
he recognizes Earl just off of his name, so it's kind of funny. It's like our little Gavin. I don't know if he really remembers us or not, but we like to think that. So every time we've seen him at a horror con,
No, he knows who you guys
We'll
are.
walk in, he'll sit down, and we'll go, oh, Earl, man, and I'll start pointing to Earl, and he'll go, oh, Earl, and stuff, and he'll do it over and over.
When
It's great.
Gavin met Kane, he said, "You guys know Earl and Anthony." Is what he said to us. And we're like, yeah, who doesn't?
Okay.
You know,
Oh man.
that's the cool thing is that like when you go to the horror cons, like even if you don't do the meet and greets and stuff, like you're right beside them. So like I remember the last horror con we went to, like I think Shannon was using the bathroom or something, and like Danielle Harris like walked by, and I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, that's wild.
are you kidding me?
That's
Like this
wild.
is insane.
Nope.
And it's like nothing for most people that go to horror cons because you see the same people over and over. You
Oh
know?
yeah. I mean, the one we just came from with doing the Screamcast and their little reunion, they did. They had, as soon as we're walking by Matthew Lillard's line, you walk by and he's up signing, and then you look back, and all of a sudden he's just in the middle of the crowd, high fiving everybody and hugging
that's
everybody.
insane.
Yeah, it's great. Like, and then they'll just walk by, go to the bathroom, hey guys, and just go in. Do their thing.
Did you
It's
mention
kinda
anything
wild.
about FNAF to him at all, or no?
With what?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, I didn't. I don't know if my girlfriend did or not, because she went up and actually got to talk to him. Because, like I was telling you before,
Because she's cooler than you.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean-
that's why. It's all right.
I have a hard time admitting it, but she is. She's a lot cooler than me. But
As long as you come to
yeah,
find that out at some point, then you're good.
yeah, you just have to kind of accept it and get over it and
Mm-hmm.
move on. So that's what I've learned to do in my old age now. So
So you were saying I interrupted you.
no, you're good. But yeah, no. Didn't get a chance to ask him about Five Nights at Freddy's, but I don't know if she did. She's more obsessed with all of his Scooby-Doo films. Everybody loves him for sure.
I get it. No,
that
it was great.
That was that and Scream, of course. But I didn't get to actually talk to him too much directly. More, she got to talk to him a little bit more for sure. But
He
yeah.
was. I mean, like when we wanted the premiere of FNAF because like
Right.
Gavin has gone on, like he'll get excited about it like when he was younger, and then he would kind of drop and then get excited. And the thing that really stunk was that like we'd buy these action figures and then they'd get rid of them and then buy them and get rid of them. And now we have sitting outside of our house a tub of FNAF plushies that we tried to sell
Yard sale.
at a yard sale, and
Oh,
no one
man.
wanted. I think we sold like 3 of them.
Jeez,
Yeah, so you can take those home.
I don't need any more.
It's your
I
little
have enough.
gift.
But like Gavin got excited because Gavin thought like he was the perfect role
Right.
for playing Springtrap. Like
That's my
When-
favorite character.
like when he got in costume, like Springtrap came to life, you know. So
Right.
like from these games, from the lore of the FNAF, like this was like him incarnate, you know, like this was the right person to play it. Like just as he was the right person to play, you know, Shaggy for Scooby Doo. I mean, honestly,
I never
Absolutely.
watched the live action Scooby Doo.
you've never seen it.
What?
I never watched. it.
Oh man,
You don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, you're
You're
missing
gonna have to watch
out,
it
man.
tonight.
I watched those
I don't
at
have time. I
31
got
years
school
old.
tomorrow.
Well, you should have been playing Fortnite.
I wanted to.
Okay, well, whatever. So out of the different horror cons you guys go to, like, I'm going to take you back to like your first one you went to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would you remember which one that was?
I want to say, if I remember correctly, I think that was actually when I met James Jude Courtney when he did the Halloween Kills. He was premiering that film, and that was like the big one upcoming. And I met him for the first time. He was my very first one.
Now, was he in costume? Was he?
No.
Is this one of the costume ones?
No, he was not in costume, but he is by far one of the coolest guys I've ever met. Super humble.
Is he a
like-
big dude?
Oh, he's huge.
Okay.
I mean, I'm 6'3", and he's taller than me. Like
You're
I
6'3"?
I have to kind of like look up a little bit when I talk. Like, I mean, I have a picture at my place of me, him, and my brother, and he's in the middle, and he's just right over top of us. I mean, pick the perfect guy for the role for sure. I mean, he's got the height and he's not real big, but he's just tall, man. I don't know. It fills out that jumpsuit perfect where he just looks like the part.
Now,
It's kinda wild.
do you remember if you had questions for him, or were you just like kind of geeking
Dude, that
out?
was my first one that I met anybody like that. So it was more of like a shell shock. I was kind of
I get it.
But that was more so when I met Doug Bradley. That one was I choked big time on that. Didn't know what to ask him.
Dude,
I was,
dude,
that's exactly what happened. And then I'm like, picture with you. I'm stuttering over myself, but he was cool. I mean, meeting him was a little bit of a disappointment because he was my all-time favorite. I mean, he great guy, super nice. I don't want to badmouth him, but I think he's just old. He's probably just tired of talking to people. I mean,
Well, think
he
about
comes to them, but-
how many of those different like the conventions that they go to and that they
yeah.
do. You know, like that's unfortunately, I think that's where a lot of them just make like that extra money now because it's like you don't know what their contracts are and what they get in royalties and stuff like that.
Not at all.
I'm
Nope.
sure for horror movies it can't be ridiculous. You know.
Probably not. I wouldn't imagine
Because-
so,
But I also think that like the good horror movies, like
Right.
you don't know I don't think they realize they're going to be as big as they are. Like, you know, like okay, so like I love Killer Clowns. Like if you're wearing your Killer Clown shirt, right?
cool.
Like you know, there's no way they imagine it to be as big as it was, right?
No.
And then to have the following, the fact that now like you can go to Walmart and buy
Right.
Killer Clown stuff,
It's
like
Y'all are
it's
matching.
insane. I know, right?
A little bit.
Not the same shirt.
It's close.
No,
enough.
they're matching,
I
Gavin.
got
colors match.
I got Halloween 3
I
on.
like that one though.
Yeah, he's got Season of the Witch, my favorite
love it.
Halloween.
I love it.
So you know, we were when you were talking about like meeting them and being, you know, like shell shocked and stuff. So mine was Kane Hodder.
Really?
So
He was
I don't
so
know.
cool.
Did you know that Kane Hodder had his own TV show?
Yeah. I did.
Okay.
I
Do you
did.
remember who lived in his closet?
I do not.
It was Guar.
Who?
Was it Guar?
It was Guar that lived in his closet. Yes. It was awesome.
That's
so like,
cool.
I'm like, I knew Gavin was excited to see him, but I'm like, I'm trying to act like, you know, yeah, whatever.
Cool.
And I was so stoked to meet him. And I'm like, and I had just watched, I don't remember which Jason it was. I think it was the one, remember where like, was it the doctor, the guy who was doing the autopsy, like he ate the heart and he became Jason,
That was
remember?
part like
Which Friday the 13th that
Which
was?
one
When
was
like
that?
multiple people became Jason.
that was.
Oh, that was Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay,
Yeah.
Where
okay.
it's like the little worm
I like
thing
that. I like
Okay,
that.
yes.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
One.
So like I thought it was awesome that Kane Hodder was also
One of the doctors.
he was a security guard
Yeah.
in it. Like that's when he
Oh.
was sporting the good mullet at
Yep,
the time.
yep.
So like that was my thing to take like talking about it, he's like, yeah.
That's
yeah.
my goal.
And he was more excited to talk to Gavin, which I get that, you know, a kid that's excited about it.
Right.
Yeah, I got the mask right over there.
Right. So there's this Kane Hodder signed mask. Yeah.
Oh, that's
that was at
awesome, man.
Monster Mania in Baltimore. But we also got to see some other cool people there. But I know that's who I was excited about. And that's who Gavin was excited about.
Right.
That year that you guys went to the same one, that's a year that you guys met. You did a photo with Kane Hodder in Jason Takes Manhattan,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So he's wearing that?
Yeah, it was me, Earl. I think we took Skylar and Chad that year. Actually, they
Yeah.
were with us. So
Yeah.
yeah, they did come along with us. Yep, we got a picture with him, and then we did our portrait photo with Robert Englund and got to meet him that
That
day,
was
which
so
was
cool.
great.
How was Robert Englund meeting him?
He was cool. We kind of got screwed over a little bit because they did not prepare well for the line that year. Once again, I think
Dude, the
they
line
just-
went around that
you
hotel,
saw,
yeah.
you saw
The
it
line
that
was
day,
huge.
and we were in that line. I mean, we must have stood for. I'd have to check with her. It had to have been at least 6 hours straight. We stood there and I got sunburned from standing there so long, and so did he. And then got all the way up to the cut corner to go through the double doors, and the head of the show came out and said, we're done. They were like, he's not taking any more. And I was like, you can't do this. And we found the owner, walked up, and he was a cool enough guy, the guy who runs Monster Mania. And don't know how we got lucky enough to find him, but we did. And he was like, look, man, I've done it for a few people already. He was like, come back up, be here. I think he told us to be there at 8 a.m. sharp. He said, I know you're far away where you live, but he was like, come back
And you
up.
guys drove that day, right?
Yeah, we drove, and then we drove right back the next morning because he promised us we'd be first in line, and he kept his word. We got in there.
That's awesome.
And he put us through. We met him, but the photo op was really, it was cool. He kind of got into character without the makeup, which was neat. He did the voice. He yelled at us, and like I was wearing
awesome.
this vest actually, and my strings were hanging down, and then my brother was on this side. And he had the glove on, of course, for the picture. So he stuck his glove up underneath his neck and then just reached back, grabbed my string, and pulled me into
That's
him.
awesome.
Oh,
Now,
it
was this
great.
like the glove he wore?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know of the exact glove.
okay,
but
okay.
it
But I'm
was,
sure
I
they
mean,
changed through the years
Oh,
too.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
they do. But I mean, just probably one of the replica ones at the shows that they do. I would
Okay,
imagine.
okay.
Probably nothing special.
But it's the fact that he was wearing it, that he got into character. And here's the cool thing about the picture is the fact that you look at the picture. It's the same thing like I talked about on one of the episodes, is that like I'll stand outside the shed and I'll just look around. And it's not about the stuff that's in here, but it's about the memories created with it, right?
Right.
The memories behind it. So with you can look at these pictures and remember the whole thing. Remember how you felt inside.
Yep.
Sometimes it's even down to smell. Like I
Oh, yeah.
remember Robert England smelled like, Old Spice,
Smelled
Fiji.
very- He smelled very nice.
Did he?
He was very nice.
He did.
He smelled
okay.
very nice. He pulled me really close. I got a little wolf.
He smelled like a wolf.
The wolf.
Robert, he just said you smelled like a wolf.
You smelled very good, Robert.
Right.
It's all right.
So out of the characters, you have met, not the actors, what characters? So like I'm sure you've met by this point many different Michael Myers.
Actually, no.
Really?
Just James U. Courtney.
Okay.
I don't have a desire to meet any of the other ones, honestly. They just weren't. Me and Earl have gone back and forth about wanting to maybe meet the one who did all the Rob Zombie films. But other than him, I'm like,
Was that a wrestler?
Yeah.
I think he
he's
was.
a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
I don't know
believe
his
he
name,
was.
but
I think it was
remember.
Hulk Hogan. I think that's
It
his
wasn't
name.
Hulk
Pretty
Hogan.
sure.
We'll go with Hulk Hogan.
I liked
I'm
the
pretty
look
sure
in
about
that with like the beard sticking out of the mask. I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's not
it
my
was cool.
favorite look, but I liked it.
But it takes you into more like what would he actually be like? Like if
Right.
he's away, he's living on his own, whatever,
They need
Yep.
to do ones like that with like the Chucky one was crap, but they need to do it with like a bunch of more remakes. Like Ghostface would be a cool one to do, like a new look of him or whatever.
Well, what do you mean?
Like you know how they have like the Jason.
Oh, you're saying like
2009
somebody totally
somebody
taken on different.
realistic,
Okay.
Like somebody really like Jason's is realistic, and from the 2009 one, the remake. They had the
I'm confused.
Do you know the remake?
Yeah, I know
of
which one you're talking
2000
about.
You know the Jason remake.
Yes, yes.
If they make it like another one realistic, like Jason's is realistic.
But see, I didn't. So I going to that one. I had a problem with that. The
The
fact that
remake?
like,
Oh,
the
I
fact
did
that
too.
like Jason has tunnels. Like you're not.
Oh, that
you're-
didn't drive me up a wall. Earl would be laughing right now when he
Why?
hears me say this. He's gonna die because me and him argue all the time. I do like that film. I don't think it's the worst out of all
I
of
thought it
them.
was
But
pretty good.
my biggest issue, as soon as they showed the scene where he runs and throws the axe, that killed it for me because
I
he
didn't like
doesn't
that
run.
part.
Jason does not run. He doesn't skip. He doesn't gallop. That's not what he
But
does.
it also
Like-
it took away the magic of him, right? Because the whole thing, like, okay, talk about him in Manhattan. It's like
Right.
technically he should be there, not where he is right now, right?
Right.
He shouldn't be about to like crush that boombox or whatever he's about to do.
Right.
Like he should still be in the subway, but he's there. That's the magic of it.
Right.
You're not supposed to see Jason's tricks. Okay, so that's where I have a problem. And the fact that he had hostages, Jason doesn't have
Right,
hostages,
right.
right? So like there was many problems I had with that. We don't need to see the real side because he should be dead. He should have been dead a long time
Right,
ago as a kid,
exactly.
right?
Yep.
So that's where I have a problem. And I was talking to my buddy Chuck about it today. I was like, because we were talking about a movie we're about to get into about Terrifier. And then he said, how are you feeling? And we've talked about this.
Right.
I'm not into the gruesome. I want more of this that's supernatural, right? Like
Right.
like Freddy, right? Like
Chucky.
they don't exist. Chucky, Jason, the fact that he keeps coming back, Michael Myers, those different types, killer clowns. I mean, like there's so many different things. Zombies, my favorite. Art to me isn't like. Now this is also coming. I've seen All Hallows Eve, like that's what started it for me, and I
Yep.
saw the first one, the first Terrifier. Like it was okay to me, like
Right.
because he messes with people to a certain extent, and then he just literally tears them apart.
Yeah.
So it's more about the gore and the gruesome, and he pushes that envelope and then keeps pushing it and pushing it
Right.
to something you couldn't even imagine. And
Yeah.
it's like, who's a sicko that came up with that?
I think that's what drew me into it more so, but I'm a
'cause you're a
sicko.
sicko,
Yeah,
right?
I was good. You took the words out of my mouth. I'm a sicko, but I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I'm definitely for the slasher films more than anything. I've always been a slasher fan of. I mean, the Jasons, the Freddys, anything like that. But I don't know what it was about art that hooked me. Something just hooked me with that movie. I think it was the gore. I enjoy. I'm one of those horror fans that loves massive amounts of blood. I
Okay.
like to see all the special effects with it.
Right.
But there is a point I feel that it gets too much, and you're like, okay, dude, like they're not doing all that. Like that doesn't happen.
so
But
Terrifier, like the new one, that wasn't too
you
much
watch
for
it?
you.
Well, I haven't seen the new one.
Oh.
Haven't seen it. So,
Okay.
but even the second one, there was a couple scenes in it. I mean, I loved it. It was a great film
Okay.
in my opinion, but it was I mean, the director he has something going on with him. I mean, he's got
So it's like, let's make a movie
Yeah.
and show you what's going
right,
on with me.
Right. I mean,
how
he's,
messed up I
or
really
either that
am.
or he's got a very just wild imagination. I don't know how you want to put it, but he's yeah, it's wild. But I love it. I don't know what really. I didn't like him in All Hallows Eve. Like Hallows Eve is. I just was not a fan of the movie at all. I didn't get it.
That was my introduction.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Well,
was
that was
mine.
mine, and
Okay.
I was like, dude, that guy. And then when they got the newest guy that plays the Terrifier now for all the Terrifier films, David Howard Thornton is. I mean,
Okay, I didn't know that there's been multiple.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Hallows Eve was not, if I'm correct, I believe it was not David Howard Thornton. It was I don't know who the other guy was.
The people will
but-
comment and tell you
Yeah.
if you're wrong. I'm
Yep.
sure.
When they did the first Terrifier there and they brought him on, it was just something about his face makeup, man. It's the prosthetics they put on him
Mm-hmm.
where he filled it out better. He had the kind of like how Bill Skarsgård has that face
Yeah.
for that smile of Pennywise. It's perfect. And
Right.
Tim Curry had that smile, and he could do all that. That's what he has. He just has that face shape. He was blessed with it. And even when you see him out of the makeup, and when me and Earl met him, nicest guy in the world, but even without the prosthetics, you can still see.
You still see art.
You still see it. And
Now
it's
so you
wild.
met Art, right?
Yes, we met him in costume and out of costume.
What con was that? Do you remember?
That was not last year, year before.
Okay,
And that was our whole intent, was to go meet him. They were doing the thing for Terrifier 2. They had all the cast there, and but
And was he in makeup?
he did do it. He did an in photo op, in full makeup photo op, I should say. And we got to see him for that. But like I was telling, he is full character. He does not break character in that costume whatsoever.
That's awesome.
And I've heard the same about James Jude Courtney, which is interesting fact I learned about him. He did actually tell me the second time we met him. He will not.
Did you like how? Hold on. Did you like how the second time we met him? Just saying, he's rubbing that.
This
in.
is why I'm
Okay.
going to take you and not him if we want to go.
Whatever.
I'm just going to
Okay.
take you.
All
All
right.
right.
I'm
Keep
fine
going.
with that.
Man. You're fine.
Anytime, text me.
Yeah, there you go, man. I'll take you. We'll get you a ticket and bring you. But
Fine with that.
no, he ended up telling us. My brother was like, dude, it would be awesome, man, if you put that mask on. He was like, and we could get and he's like, I won't do it. And we thought he was joking, so we started laughing. We're like, oh, come on, man. And he's like, dude, when I put that mask on, he's like, I break into that character, and he's like, it's just weird. It's super weird. And I'm like, okay. And then he kind of and then I watched another interview where he went a little more in depth on YouTube, I think it was, and he literally breaks into that. I mean, he's not hurting people, but he's like, dude,
But,
people,
I mean, he's got to
Yeah.
he's got to come to a certain place. I get
and
it.
he's like,
I
I
get
have
it.
to go to a dark place in my head. He was like, and I only go there when that mask goes on. He was like, when I take that mask off on set, I'm the nicest guy in the world, but when the mask goes
Yeah.
on, it's all business.
Well, they say
And-
with Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah,
I can
Bill
never say
Skarsgård.
it. Right.
I know, it's so hard
like,
to say.
but like when he got into character, like he
Dude.
was in character.
Yeah.
You know.
The scene where he's where the kids, he's got him pushed against the fridge and he's leaned over. When I watched the behind the scenes on that, when he's drooling, he actually started drooling and
Yeah.
drooled
Yeah, I
into
know.
the kid's mouth on mistake during filming, and they just
That's
they kept it because it was
disturbing.
so perfect. And I was
I get
like,
it.
you can't remake that.
I
So
get
It's
it
the
it.
was
nicest
so perfect.
office set
Oh,
out there.
yeah.
Like when I was watching a video, you know the one in the first or the second movie where he like jumps at that kid.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah.
jumps at and he's like, "Are you okay?"
Oh
Are you
yeah,
okay?"
I've seen that one. Yup, yup.
Did do you have questions, Rhea?
What got you into horror movies or horror in general?
Honestly, I don't tell people any different about my mother. My mom, man, My very first film was the original Halloween. That was the very first horror film I ever was allowed to watch, and I remember
Wonderful movie.
my mom sat me down. I was 6 going on 7, and I can't believe I can remember that as clear as I remember sitting in our living room, and she sat me down, and the rule was, if you get scared, you ain't crawling in my bed tonight, like you're gonna go sleep. And I said okay, and I begged her, she sat me down. I think she expected me to be terrified, but I lit up when I saw him, the infamous scene of him like walking down the stairs of the house and he's coming across. I was like, I love this. And then she just worked me into other ones. I think my second
Good job, Molly.
yeah, thanks, Mom. I think my second big one that was like super scary, I would say as a kid, would be she sat me down and we watched the very first Jeepers Creepers together when it came out, and once again thought it was gonna and I loved it. I was like, I don't.
Did you see the newest one, by the way?
I didn't like it. Reborn.
Really?
I did not like the guy that played him. I didn't like what they did. They gave him like the
I get it.
It was weird. I didn't look like the original, but I mean it. And I wasn't impressed with the third one either. The first and second, and the second I think is always going to be my favorite, where they're on the bus and it's the high school. That one is
okay. The
great.
second one's good, but
Yeah.
I think that he's more terrifying when the wings aren't out, when
yeah.
he's just in, when you don't know exactly what he is, when he's just a creep.
That
you know?
scene from the first one, I always said when they're driving before he gets really introduced, and they're like, oh, the red sheet, and he looks back the way he does, and you don't see him yet, but you just know that something bad's under the whole trench coat. And it gives you a good. That's what I like about horror movies. With that, it gives you that feeling of like, oh, like what.
Now has his truck been in any of the cons you've gone to?
No, it hasn't. But I don't know. I'd have to double check with my buddy. He goes to he's up in New York, so he typically goes to the Philly cons a lot of the time, and he'll drive down. Shout out Richie, love you, bud. He'll normally drive down and go sit. They have like what is the one thing that they have? Oh, they had a whole like cosplay thing set up, he said, and I think he showed me pictures. Him and his girlfriend got
That's a mic.
what
Just
it was like a Nightmare on Elm Street, like the full cutout of the front of the house, and you could stand in front of it.
That's
and get
awesome.
Pictures. Like they've never had anything like that at the cons we've been to, because they're just secluded. I mean, you saw how Hunt Valley was. It's small. It's not as big as what everything's packed in, and even the place they started holding it in Baltimore this year at the Edgar Allan Poe wherever place in
oh, that's
Baltimore.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, they started holding it there at the convention center.
He's
it
creepy.
was. Who's that?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Very.
We're studying him in language arts right now.
That's a good
Very
English teacher right
creepy.
there.
Yeah, for real, really is. You should learn about them. But yeah, no, it was better, this one for sure. Going to I like where they have it now. It's a lot more open. You don't feel as like claustrophobic.
Okay.
I guess like you're.
Well, one thing that I enjoy about them is the fact, like, regardless of the size of the space, they really cram all those different dealers, right?
Yep.
And the cool thing is, like, they get these dealers to come in, like, totally different people. So, like, you've got T-shirt companies, you've got mask companies, you have people that just do their art, there's people with jewelry, or stuff with just different collectibles. So that's what, like, some of the stuff in here is from cons, because it's just totally, like, it's totally different, that allows people to really express their passion for horror, right? And especially like one of my favorite ones is Return of the Living Dead, and like to be able to find a certain T-shirt or a patch or whatever that you wouldn't see or buy at a typical store like Spencer's or when Spirit comes by. It's cool to be able to get that, especially those one-offs, like a lot of those like shadow boxes and stuff, those dioramas. We would see some really cool stuff. Like Shannon gets into the jewelry. The cool thing is that like Shannon, Gavin, and myself, there's stuff for each one of us that we love. But it's finding that money, because like you want to appreciate the art, but it's like they've got to make money off of it. So it's like, how much are you going to appreciate it, and can your bank account afford to appreciate? Yeah. So I get you can only go to so many a year, because it's an expensive passion for it, right?
It is. It's well worth it every time I spend money. At those shows, I don't care. I know it's going to bring me extreme amounts of joy.
Right.
I'm going to love it every time. I mean, at the last show we were just at, I bought I bought the full out Trick or Treat Studios replica of the Texas Chainsaw chainsaw.
Right.
from
So
the
is that
original
is that
film,
something you brought? So you brought
Yeah.
some stuff. So these are some of your collectibles.
Yeah.
So let's see what you got
We'll yank
here.
the first one out then. We'll let Gavin show it to everybody. I want you to take a look at it and everything. So that's from the Netflix
cool.
film, the Trick or Treat Studios Texas Chainsaw. on
That's
Netflix.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Here, we'll bring it close to the camera so you can see.
That's
We can
really
put some.
I didn't know you like Leatherface.
We can put
I
some
love 'em,
roast
dude.
on it.
I
Which
love
one you
'em.
said that was?
That's from the Netflix one, the remake they did on
I haven't
Netflix.
watched it. I like all the
Great.
looks of him.
Oh yeah, he's got several different masks.
It's
for
got a
sure.
good strap on it.
Yep.
I like that.
Most
That's nice.
definitely. And
It's a
then
good mask.
I had to bring this one because this is the most recent that I just got and added to the collection. So I
That
got
is awesome.
Everybody from
You
the
show everybody right
screencast.
there. You bring it closer to
Oh.
that high quality studio camera.
Most definitely. Let's get that light a little bit.
There we go.
All the signatures
Let's
on
see
it.
that thing.
Most definitely.
Did you put it in a shadow box?
I did. I
Good
did. My
job.
girlfriend bought me the shadow box because I kept arguing with her. I'll leave it, pack it up, and she
All right.
she tends to be right a lot.
Is that one of the?
That's what they
good-
are.
is that
You, all
one-
right, so you keep appreciating it. We don't really get to see it. You're just facing it towards you, Ant.
I love
so,
it so
well,
much.
can
man.
we see what it looks like?
No, you,
Well, then you can leave. You can just turn it around. You don't have to.
You can
get
just,
it.
like, give
you
it
have, You
us,
have to
don't
hold
we?
it. You
Yeah,
have to
let's see
hold
this.
it. You got to.
I'm gonna drop
All right,
I'll
that.
so-
trade you here. That way you can
There
hold
we
it and
go.
you can
Thank you.
admire
That
it
mask
for a
is
second.
cool.
All
Thank
right,
you, man.
so
Thank you.
I like. So how many you got?
So we have
You have 4 autographs on there.
Yep, the only one I'm missing that she wasn't there
See
was
again?
Nev. Nev
Okay.
Campbell's the only one we couldn't get, but yeah, we got Ski.
She was doing a
that
second
one of
Friends
the-
reunion.
yeah, right.
Is that one of the
She
professional
wasn't on
masks?
Friends. That was Courtney Cox. While you were going with it, there you go. Shannon's like, Brian, you
I
know
get what you're
better.
saying,
You
but it's
know
fine.
better.
I can hold it.
So what are the like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
type
put
of
it on your side. Yeah,
what
you're
are the
fine.
like the type of collectibles that you aim for, or do you not like have anything in mind, or it's just something you see?
Anything I see, it doesn't matter if it
Okay.
has like even looking at all your stuff in here, any of this like the Toonie Terrors, all of them. Like,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I,
I
if
love
I
them,
see
right,
them, I'm
right.
I
just
got
like,
my collection
I
of
have to
NECA
get it.
figures. That's my
So like
favorite.
that
There you go.
Beetlejuice stuffed animals was something I got from there because I
Right.
don't find it. I love
Yeah.
the new
These are mine.
These the NECA
I
monsters.
like 'em.
I want one of the Frankenstein ones,
Right.
like with the vinyl costumes. Like those are
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yep.
And that's the cool thing is that now you can get stuff like that at Target and Walmart. Maybe not necessarily this time of year, but like
Right.
in September, October,
Right.
you could go ahead and get that stuff.
Yep, exactly. No, I've just yeah, it's not. I don't aim towards anything specific. It's just anything hard. I've gotten more picky, or started to. I feel because I've acquired so much.
What's your what would you say is your most prized collectible?
I'd probably have to go with my Doug Bradley autograph. That's
Okay.
probably my
What did he
most-
autograph?
I have a canvas of it's a 1, 2, 3. I think it's a 5-part can. It's all separated, like
Okay.
how you can connect them together. And I had him sign the middle part where his face is, like as Pinhead and everything, and he put his little quote on there. I am Pain. Signed him.
That's awesome.
Signed his, it was awesome. And that's the one I've always had it hanging up. I won't take it down. I won't.
So
pack
you're
it
big.
away.
So you were big into Hellraiser, or still?
Not as a kid, but as I got and moving into teenage years, I discovered Hellraiser, and I
Okay.
started doing the research on it and seeing that originally it was not even an American film. It was
I didn't
made.
know that.
It was made in the UK, and like
Wow.
Doug Bradley's from the UK, which I didn't know. for
That's
the
why he
longest
talks the
time.
way he does.
Yeah,
That makes that adds up, right?
I never put it 2 and 2 together.
You know who Pinhead is, right? Okay.
Do with the pins out of his head.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you give yourself one favorite horror movie, what would that be? Or no. Let's keep it with one movie. I'm gonna ask you that too, Gavin.
Ooh,
I already know mine.
that's such a tough
I
one.
didn't ask you yet.
One for one horror movie. Ooh, I mean, honestly, as much as I love Hellraiser, I think I'd have to always go with Halloween.
Okay.
I'm a
The
huge-
first one. The first
Yes,
one.
the original.
Okay, okay,
Original.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
It's an okay answer. No, it's. I mean, like AMC had it on a ton, and we watched it
Yeah.
every time
Oh,
it
I
was
can
on.
watch. It's
I
just
mean,
something
so-
about it. I don't know. It's the way they filmed it, the way the music is, the way I just.
John
it's
Carpenter
something- Yeah,
is
yeah.
amazing. I mean,
Always will
and,
be.
and then when you watch the history of that movie,
Right.
like it's insane. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just, hey, some college friends in a band decided they were going to make this horror movie.
Yeah.
And then there's the shape. Go to the magic store, pick up a mask. I got a
Right.
Captain Kirk mask.
Yeah.
I just kind of messed with it, and look what it turned into.
Yeah, and it's iconic now. Like
Right
you
now,
can't-
but besides some of the ones that we talked about last weekend about
Right.
how some of them, the masks were just
Which-
absolutely
which-
wretched.
what, H2O, your Karen mask.
Yes, H2O is the Karen mess.
I've
Look it
never
up
heard it. I've
when he
never
looks
heard of it.
when he
I
looks
don't
through
like
that
it.
glass and he sees Jamie Lee Curtis and he sees her like it looks like Karen's look. Anyway,
It's so great.
it kind of looked like how Jamie Lee Curtis did in True Lies. All right, Gav, favorite scary movie.
Okay, it's got to be Child's Play 2. That's my favorite.
The second
Chucky-
one.
Yeah, that's
yes,
my favorite.
you've said
Chucky
that many
movie.
times.
Well,
okay.
the doll that I got there is based off of
Right,
that
and the
one.
camera doesn't pick it up. That is the favorite doll
That's
right
my
there.
favorite.
That one right there.
That's my
Awesome.
favorite thing we have in the
Just
set.
doesn't stay well in the box for some
Right.
reason.
I
But the
know.
box has the blood splatter. I love
Yeah.
that. The Trick or Treat Studio. So since you guys asked mine,
What's yours?
thank you. mine is Night of the Living Dead, the original, the black and
No.
white. I've got the VHS Reefer Madness
I'm gonna give
one
you
right
this
up
back
there.
real quick.
Hey,
I don't
man.
trust myself.
So my story, the reason that I love it so much is the fact that it was a New Year's Eve. My parents never went out, and they told me and my brother we had to watch this, and it was like, oh, we have to.
Right.
And that movie got to me. The way that your mind has to work for that movie because it's in black and white is just there's beauty in it, right?
Right.
And the way that the score is with it. We talked about this the other week, but there's just something about it that just allows your mind to go in a certain place. And the crazy thing is, I swear it was for years. I'm sure it wasn't. I felt like I had a nightmare every night. Now, the nightmare stopped the one night that the zombies did get me. Now, when they got me, everything turned black and white for some reason, and all I heard was Elvis Presley music playing in the background. I don't know why, but evidently that's what happens when you become a zombie. is
That's great.
Elvis Presley
Elvis
music
Presley.
happens. Okay. So, you go to all these different cons. Is there one in particular, like, now think about, doesn't matter, like plane ticket, whatever, that you would want to go to over all of them? Like, you have the leave for work, you can, no holds bar, you can go to this, and you have the money to spend whatever you want.
Out of all the shows I would pick to go to,
Yeah.
I would probably most definitely pick. I can't remember. We were just talking about it, but whatever the one's called that they do out in LA every year. What is it, MonsterCon? Is that what that one is, or it's called something like that? I believe. I can't remember. It's Monster Palooza.
Monster Palooza.
Yeah, I would go
Oh.
to that 100% just because they get the biggest names. It's LA, so
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna get all the biggest names. And I mean, yeah, I would have to pick that one if
Mm-hmm.
I could because that involves a flight, and then I could only imagine all the cool memorabilia I'd come back with from that show.
I mean, you'd have to take like Southwest, so you have like a free baggage.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you could just or ship it. I don't know. Why
Yeah.
are we even talking about that? It hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job at making your food kind of come together. Gavin, yours
I'm full.
looks like a cat threw it up now. It's good the camera can't see it. All right. So you've realized like this is the thing that you like to do. This is the special event, right? So your Shannon gets into it too, right? Okay, so I have a Shannon, you have a Shannon. We don't share Shannons.
No.
And I,
They're
I'm
different
Gavin. I'm just lonely.
All right, thank you. You're not lonely. You're 15. You're good, bro. Good, bro. You got Chucky in the shed.
There you go.
I got Chucky right here too.
You got Chucky.
You
There's
got the
Chucky
man shed,
everywhere.
man.
So that's the thing you guys look forward to. Does she get excited about that like you do?
Most definitely. Like she has her. I wouldn't say that she has a big, like range of like. She loves all of them. She's
Mm-hmm.
a horror lover for sure. But I mean, she has her specifics as everybody. I feel
Right,
does,
right,
where
right.
It's like she's super into the Scream series and loves everything to do with that. But I mean, yeah. I mean, she's a nut about it, just like me. She loves it. Huge nerd on it, and
Good.
yeah, I love that she's into it. I feel like that's.
Well, I think
yeah.
I think for a relationship that's a good thing because like the fact that Shannon's always been into horror movies,
Right,
so
right.
like I know I introduced her into us decorating,
Right,
you
right.
know, and stuff, and I love that, and like that changed for her, but her love for horror wasn't like that,
Right,
or
right.
didn't change because of me is what I'm saying. She always loved horror, so now we get to experience that together, and the fact that Gavin loves that, and we get to do that, like that's our family thing, you know,
That's
like
awesome.
we love Christmas and we get excited for Christmas,
Right.
and the beautiful lights and all that decorations and the sentimental parts. But horror stuff gets the same way for us. Like it's the same thing. So like that's why I like it goes from like horror to like, Christmas decorations. I'm good with that.
Anytime we go to like GameStop, we always get something there.
I try not
like
to.
a Funko Pop.
Like
so
we'll
hard
drop
not
your
to.
mom off at the thrift shop, and we're like,
Let's not.
I'm only
wait.
spending $20 this time. It's like,
And
but
then
there
it
was
goes-
a deal. There was a deal.
I can't do that. That's why I can't go into like I was telling you, I can't go into like a Walmart or a Target because as soon as I pass that little split horror section they have, it's
So
like, give me that.
That's my
yeah, so
favorite
I got mad at you the other night. So Saturday after we left, we went to Walmart because I was looking for that section, and their section was it was gone in King George.
What?
Yeah, it was gone, and I'm like I was really
What the
excited
heck?
to get stuff. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have the money,
I guess you
so
gotta
maybe
go-
it was meant to be.
I was
but,
lucky at the. I just found it at the Waldorf one. I just happened. I wasn't even
okay.
looking for
No,
it.
La Plata had good stuff too.
Oh, see, I didn't know if La Plata even did.
Yeah,
it or
no,
not.
La Plata
Okay,
did.
Good. All right.
But the place to find stuff I realized is the Target and Brandywine. That has some good stuff.
Dude,
Like there was some
yes.
Reanimator stuff. Do you like
Yep.
Reanimator?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so like the fact that there was Reanimator stuff there, like I got excited. That's where I got that Alf puppet from Kid Robot.
Right,
like
right.
there was
We
good
got
stuff.
You that.
That's awesome.
You weren't even there.
Oh,
No, Mom got that from me. Don't take credit for your mom.
I'm not. I thought we got that.
You don't want to make her mad. Make a little
She
Rusty
gonna
come
beat me-
out.
Beat me up.
So, what'd you think of the Mississippi pot
Yeah,
roast?
it's so good.
Did you get some of the?
Mississippi pot roast.
You just wanted to say
I
that.
like that.
Did you-
That was good.
Did you get some of the peppers in it?
I don't know. I assume. I don't know. It just tastes really good.
Okay, so it's got like I'm gonna call them. They're the ones that come with like I can never remember the names for stuff. Pepperoncinis. They're pepperoncinis.
Oh, okay.
Pepperoncinis.
Okay.
Right, the ones that come with
Pepperoncinis.
Papa John's pizza.
Pepperoncinis.
Oh, okay.
He loves them. He
So
orders
Shannon will
extra.
pour some of the juice in there too, and let it sit. Like it just gets. Yeah, my butt.
So good.
You're just really enjoying hearing your voice right now.
Yeah.
So,
my mic's weird.
My buddy
so
Jamie, his son accidentally put dumped the whole bottle in there, and like with the juice, and he's like, "Dad, I'm sorry." Ended up being that's how they do their Mississippi pot roast now
Mississippi pot roast.
but be quiet because they really enjoy it. They really enjoy it that way. Anyway, okay. So speaking of food, do you cook at home? Are you a cook?
I am.
He was like Gordon
So
Ramsay.
so if you're able to cook one thing like that go-to meal, right? What is that meal?
I'm really good at salmon, honestly. Any type of fish.
Really?
I'm really good at fish. Yeah, my
Okay.
salmon, and it's sad too because my girlfriend, go figure, doesn't eat seafood.
Well, that's more for you to eat.
I mean, yeah,
That's why I
but-
get anchovy pizzas.
I know, but I like to brag about my cooking because my mother taught me well with that.
Your
so
mom
I'm-
can cook.
Yeah,
yeah.
my
Yeah,
mom's the
she
best
can.
cook.
So
She's
what
the
do you
best
what do
cook.
you do with the salmon?
Just it's not. I mean, come on, I can't give that up. On
Well, I mean, are there secret seasonings?
No, there's not. It's super simple. No, I just
Paprika.
honestly just
Paprika isn't a real thing.
No,
Paprika.
I put
Paprika. I don't know.
I just put olive oil on it, Old Bay, butter, and lemon. But I don't know. I guess I think it's on how you bake it and how long you keep
Okay.
it in for. Because if you keep it in too long, too dry, too less,
Okay,
it'll cook
well
enough.
that's good. I mean, so
It's
like
simple.
I like salmon with sushi. Like as a
Oh, yeah,
sushi,
same,
I don't
same.
like cooked salmon.
I don't like salmon at all.
No, not cooked.
No,
I can eat
not
it
at all.
both ways. I love it raw, but
I
I,
don't
can
like-
definitely eat it.
I
can eat it
don't.
cooked
I
as
don't
well.
like it at all.
I don't know. Okay, so say you've had a hard day at work, right? Or just a hard day in general, right? One of the I don't know what that was. It was like one of those pop farts, maybe. So say like you've had a hard day, and food is just the comfort thing, right? So that's like why we eat, like not just for sustainability, but the fact that like it feels good. You're gonna go. Nobody knows that you're about to go to this place, right? Like this is between you and your stomach. Okay. You're going to go to a fast food place.
Okay.
What's the first fast food place, regardless of where you're at, that you're going to pick?
I'm gonna say Burger King because I've been on a Burger King crave.
Okay, so Burger King.
Yeah.
Now, I call this my secret meal, and I don't know if you heard it from the other episodes, but like
Okay.
this is the meal that Shannon would call my appetizer meal.
Okay.
So like a legit meal. Like it wasn't like I got a small fried, like I got a fish fillet.
Yeah, that's me.
I got a double cheeseburger and I got a small fry, and then I have a Big Mac meal that I'm
Yeah.
about to eat at home. Okay, so what is that secret meal that nobody knows about that you like that you would be ashamed to tell people? But it's okay, you could tell the World Wide
No,
Web.
I'm just going to. If we're talking Burger King,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get a double Whopper meal, but then I tell them, hey, can you add a regular Whopper? And then they go, yeah. And then I go, can you also add one more Junior Whopper?
So what are you? So
it's three
what? Okay, that's
burgers.
great. Okay, what are you? That's there's not. Hey, My typical order from Burger King. I love the regular burgers. Like
Me
their regular
too,
burgers.
yeah.
I will
They're good.
order 4 of them and a large fry. Because like if Shannon's like, I'm picking up something, and she's like, "Where do you want?" And she'll say, "You want Burger King?" And I'll say, "Yeah." She'll say 4 burgers. And I'll be
Right,
like, "Yeah." Like it's normal. They know that. It's sad. Don't do that, folks. So
Do not.
okay. What are you eating in the car? What are you saving for home? Are you saving anything for home?
The fries won't make it home, but all the burgers make it home. I'm that type of person that I have to sit down, get a show running before I take a
Okay,
bite of food.
okay, yes,
I have
yes,
to.
yes,
I
yes,
have
yes.
to do
So
that.
I will.
Okay.
The times I'm really hungry, and like this is like don't talk to Brian right now. Is I'll hand Shannon the remote and I'll say I want to eat. So if I have the remote, and that's when there's nothing on, so I'll turn
Yeah.
it to Buffy. Like if I go to Buffy,
Right.
I'm safe. Like
Right.
I'm like okay,
Comfort show.
right.
Comfort
So
show.
but otherwise it's like there has to be something on. Like I can't flip.
Right.
Because I have to have both hands,
Yep.
unless I have like a pre-part to my meal. Like if I'm making a sandwich, like big sandwich person, I'm going to put extra chips over the plate that are going to go high, so I know that I still have enough for the sandwich.
I'll do that too. That's so great.
I love that. I'm
Dude,
not
if I do
alone.
that, I'll make like a bowl of cereal and I'll make sure I pour extra so it stacks up over the bowl. So by the time I get to
I
the
get
good
it.
part, it's
right.
good.
It's
like,
exactly where you
you're
want it to
okay.
be.
It's not too soggy. It's just perfect when you get to it.
So since you've been on a Burger King, have you kick? Have you had Morticia's cookie chocolate shake yet?
I have not, but I'm scared to try the Wednesday burger because it's purple.
Shannon tried it. It
freaks
looks
me
awesome.
out.
It looks awesome.
You're gonna
looks
turn into
cool.
Thanos.
So I'm not a big shake person, and I've talked about this before. I'm
Right,
not a
right.
big shake. The Morticia's cookie chocolate shake is incredible.
I did see it too, and I was like,
Dude, it is it's how you've had it.
It's alright.
eh?
No, I
Really?
I like it, but it upsets my stomach.
Or it upsets my stomach
I'm
too.
lactose intolerant, so
Oh,
I can't have that too much.
Right, this is coming from a kid that puts ranch on everything.
Oh my god.
He doesn't realize
like
that
ranch.
there's dairy
It
in
has to be Chick-fil-A ranch, or it has to be mom's homemade ranch.
Oh, you sound like
Or Outback
you sound like
ranch.
my girlfriend. That's what she says. She has like a specific type of ranch she has to eat. She won't do like the
it's not,
basic.
because it's not the same.
You sound like her. That's what she says all the time. I don't believe her, but
It's not the same.
Okay, all right.
Cane
So,
sausage is
I get it. Well, I'm glad now. I feel like I know you more than I know that you eat kind of like I do. Or
Yeah.
it's that same mindset of
I
like
have to. It's
I get the
guilty for
TV
sure.
thing.
Yeah, I have to. I can't do it. I'll get yelled at by people. I get yelled at by my girlfriend constantly. I'm flipping through the chat and I won't take a bite.
So you did bring some stuff. You said right?
I did. I brought gifts. It's getting ready to be that time of the year. So.
I like gifts.
Yeah, I figured you did. I love gifts too. So, all right, my first one is for both of you, but I wanted to give this to you guys. I bought this at a show a little while ago. Oh, there we go, hitting the mic again. And I have so many things, so I thought there's somebody that I could hand it down to that would take care of it and frame it. So I wanted to
That's
give that to
signed?
you guys. No, it's not signed.
no,
not
no,
signed.
I thought that was. That's really.
I wish
cool.
I could have given you
That
a
is
signed
awesome.
one, but
Thank
I don't
you,
even
guys.
have
Thank
anything
you.
signed
No,
by him,
that's fine.
sadly.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, you're welcome,
That's
man.
really cool.
Yep, you guys
Hang
get
on.
that, hang
That's
that thing
awesome.
up.
Thank you. We'll find a place.
Show
I
the camera.
got-
Let me see it. Don't put it in your pocket. It's not going to
Yeah, I'll
fit.
put it in my pocket.
And I got one thing for you, so I brought something for you. I'm gonna
Thank-
take these
thank you.
off so
There
I
we
can
go.
do it. All right. Let me see. All right, so you were talking and ranting and raving about it. Decided to go ahead
Thank you.
and grab that one for you, so you can add
What
that
is
to
that?
your
What is
collection,
that?
man.
Here, let me see it. Don't hit the
Thank you,
microphone.
buddy. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man,
Here we
absolutely.
go. Check this
That's
I
out.
know
like-
you would
that's-
take care of it.
I needed to complete my Chucky collection.
Exactly. I know you're a huge
Thank
Chucky
you, buddy.
fan, so
Look at that. That's
You're
very nice of you.
100%
Thank you.
welcome,
that was
man.
really
Enjoy it.
nice.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm glad that you came on here. Now, before you leave, we have a gift for you.
Oh, great.
This is you get a BKB. So reach in there, grab one. This is your BKB. It is a show to the camera. It is a Brian Knows Baby BKB. You have your own BKB. Look at that. That's beautiful.
I like it. That's perfect.
Thank you for joining us. I feel like I know you a little better. This is our one. Normally, now it's 2 times a year we get to see each other.
Right. No, it's twice a
Yeah,
year.
we're gonna
No.
have to do another part of this.
Right. Thank you for coming on, Gavin, and
You're
helping
welcome.
host.
Anytime.
Yeah, buddy. Thank
No,
you.
just this
I
time.
live
That's all
a
you.
minute away, so I'll be good.
No, thank you guys for having me
Of
on. This was
course.
a blast.
I-
Thank you for this. Thank
love
you.
it. You're welcome,
Thank
man.
you for
You're
thank you for the
welcome.
gifts. I appreciate.
You're
it. Thank you
welcome.
for taking us into your world and
Absolutely.
not just us seeing them on Instagram or where you've been. Make sure that you rate and review the podcast, giving it 5 stars because my mom said you have to. Make sure you also subscribe. That way you're notified of new podcasts. Tell your friends about it. What else? On the comments, there's an online store. If you want to get this beautiful face, the one that looks right down there, you can see that.
Yep.
You know, you're not going to buy it. So be the first one that doesn't buy it. How about that? Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Gavin. For Brian Knows,
All right.
I'm Brian.
Peace
and
out.
I know Anthony.
I love it.
Wrong buttons. Here we go. I meant
Listen,
to
crap
interview,
up.
and here we go. Let's do that again. Bye, everybody.
Brian knows, yeah, Brian knows. Good food, good ideas, that's how it goes.
Hey, Anthony. Look in the camera and say, I'm Anthony and Brian knows me.
I'm Anthony and Brian knows me.
Say it in the microphone. But you've got to face the camera.
Okay. I'm Anthony and
You
Brian
don't have to say
knows
nothing.
me.
Bye, everybody.
Here.